Roger wasn't lying. There were 2 affidavits.
I wonder if he's missed them yet.
Alan's not a criminal. He can't be. But he's been afraid. He's let Roger maneuver him. Blackmail him. Maybe I should tell Alan I took the affidavits from Roger's apartment. Maybe I should show these to him.
Morning.
Good morning, Alan.
Any calls?
Yes, Paul Musgrove. He wanted to confirm the meeting.
Mm-hmm. Anything else? Well?
I was just thinking. No, nothing else.
Is Roger in?
No.
Well, did he call?
No.
Well, let me know the minute he comes in. I want to talk to him.
Yes, all right.
Is this the whole thing?
Yes.
Well, it's not enough. And we're entitled to more information than this before jury selection. All right, I want you to find out the age. Would you write this down?
Oh, yes, sir.
I want you to find out the age, occupation, and marital status of all prospective jurors, especially the marital status of the women, including divorces. Now, I want complete information on place of birth and education. If they give you a hard time, tell them that this paper they sent over is incomplete, that there's going to be a delay in the jury selection unless they give me what I need, and they give it to me now.
I'll call the clerk right now.
Good.
Mr. Marler, Mr. Thorpe is here.
Oh, Roger. Roger, come on in. Get it for me this afternoon, Marcia.
I'll try.
No, don't try. Just get it. Getting the rundown on prospective jurors. Oh, what's up?
Ross, I can't go through with this.
Roger, you've got nothing to worry
Don't
about.
give me that! This town is out to get me. I don't have a chance in hell of being acquitted. I am going to prison.
And now, the guiding light. This portion is presented by Gain, the detergent that leaves your clothes smelling outdoor fresh right from the dryer. And by Bounce. It gets clothes soft, free of static cling, and gives them long-lasting freshness.
I discovered Bounce, the fabric softener that works in the dryer, because it came with my new Frigidaire dryer. Bounce gets our cottons really soft.
This bib is really soft.
My skirt is really soft.
Bounce controls static so synthetics don't cling.
These stretch suits don't cling.
My tights don't cling.
Look, Roger, I've handled cases like this before, and I've always won.
That was in New York. You don't know this town. The people here resent me. They resent my success. I don't go to their damn church picnics like the Bowers do, and I don't live by their pious little rules. They'd like nothing better than to see me slapped in jail.
Look, if I thought you couldn't get a fair trial here, I'd have asked for a change of venue.
Hey, what about that? Why don't we do that?
No, I don't think so.
Well, why not?
No. We've got a lot of things going for us here. Now, just for starters, there's your first wife's deposition. That's going to mean a great deal, especially since she's known to be so close to the Bowers. And then when we can make of Holly's character. You know, I think that'll do more damage to her here than any place else.
Why?
Because she's so well thought of here. You see, she starts out looking like Snow White. And then the things that we can use against her will show people that she's not so pure after all. It'll be all downhill for her after that. Plus, I know how to pick a jury.
Ross, if you think you can find fair-minded people in Springfield, 12 of them, you are more of an optimist than I thought.
Well, I know whom to avoid. You know, you can lose a case before the jury's even been impaneled.
But you don't know how people are going to think. You can't read their minds. It's just guesswork, isn't it?
Oh, no. You get a feel for it after a while. Yeah, there are some people who would convict you before they've even heard a shred of evidence. It's an important part of my job to make damn sure that they're not impaneled. And there are certain groups of people that are better than others.
What kind of groups?
Well, for instance, I think we'd be a lot better off with men. Now, if I could get an all-male jury, I'd love it. Now, men will be much more inclined to put themselves in your shoes than women will be. Now, a man can imagine himself being falsely accused of rape.
Sure.
It's a generalization, of course, with exceptions, but I venture to say that men will be much more likely to sympathize with you and to see things your way.
Yeah, but you can't do it. I mean, you can't keep women off a jury, can you?
Well, no, probably not entirely, but the idea is to get as many men on as possible. And to make damn sure that the women we do accept are, well, the right type.
What type is that?
I'll say women over 40 who've never been married. You see, they'll be less likely to sympathize with Holly than younger women will be. They'll think she's damn lucky just to have a husband, any husband.
Thanks a lot.
Well, they'll think Holly's damn lucky just to be young. They'll be instinctively more hostile towards Holly than younger women would be. A younger woman would probably identify with Holly, probably bring up some women's lib point.
Sure.
Now, well, I guess what I'm saying is that there's no way to eliminate bias, and that any prospective juror is going to be predisposed in some way. But, well, the idea is to make the jury selection work for you instead of against you.
Okay.
But the jury selection's my problem. Yours is to remember that you're innocent. Now, Roger, you've got to look innocent. I can't stress that enough. Now, you've got to remember that the jury will be looking at you not only during your own testimony, but during Holly's testimony, during everyone's testimony, during the confabs and the recesses and the meetings that we'll have with the judge. Now, what you look like, what you seem to be, will be just as important, probably more important than the testimony itself. You bear that in mind. And remember that every day that you start out in court, remember that you love your wife, even now. And you love your daughter. And you're heartbroken that your wife is doing this to you, and you don't know why. Now, you don't know if she's mentally unbalanced or misled. You just don't know why she's doing this to you. All you know is that it's breaking your heart. Got it?
I think I can handle that.
I may not be an Ivory girl like my wife, Jody, but I like Ivory as much as she does.
Dan and Jody Reese like Ivory's pure, natural kind of clean.
I don't want to smell like my sister's perfume soaps that she used to use when I was...
How you doing?
All right.
You look like you're holding up very well.
Is there anything I can get, any of you?
No.
No, thank you.
Okay.
Come on in. Hold on my calls, okay?
Fine.
Have a seat.
I know you're busy, and I thought about not calling you, but then I realized I should tell you about this. Alan Spaulding called me.
Spaulding?
Yes. He asked me to come over to his office. He said it was important, so I went. And we talked, and he gave me his sympathy for what I was going through. And he said that he had every confidence in Roger. That Roger was the kind of man who would profit, who would learn from any mistakes he might have made.
Why is he getting involved in this?
Well, he's concerned about me and Christina. He said he realized that the pressure of Roger's job may have caused difficulties, and he apologized for that.
He did.
He offered me a job with Spaulding Enterprises. Anywhere, my choice, Houston or New York City.
He offered you a job. In exchange for what?
Well, he was kind of slow getting around to that. I guess he expected I would figure it out for myself. So I asked him to spell it out.
And?
He wanted me to refuse to testify against Roger and to leave town. He not only offered me a job, he offered to set up a trust fund for Christina.
He offered you money to refuse to testify against Roger?
Mm-hmm.
How much?
Well, we didn't talk money. I didn't let it get that far, but that's where the conversation was going. Anyway, so I thought you'd want to know about that. I mean, it's not every day a girl gets offered a bribe.
I don't get it. Why does he care so much what happens to Roger?
Well, I suppose the whole thing is such an embarrassment for him. I mean, Roger is his second in command now.
No, Roger has hurt him. And I don't know why he wants to help Roger.
I don't know. To help him, I guess.
Well, then why didn't he just cut himself loose from him? Just fire him right on the spot as soon as he was arrested. I mean, it isn't as though Alan is loyal. He's not noted for his loyalty to anybody except himself. But not only does he not fire him, he hires him in a better position. Why? I mean, Roger may be good at his job, but is he good enough to warrant all that bad publicity?
I don't understand it either.
What'd you tell him?
I got angry. I don't think he'll offer it again.
Why would Alan care? There's got to be a reason. Got to.
I suppose you did what you thought was right, so there's really no point in discussing it.
You saw my statement in the paper.
Yes?
And you think I'm wrong?
Adam, I don't think you have any right to say to the press that you think Roger is innocent.
He said he didn't do it, Sarah.
They usually don't admit it, not even to themselves.
What do you mean?
Adam, I've treated a lot of rape victims. And I know something about the kind of man who hurts them. See, it's not a sexual act. I mean, that's not the essence of it. It's an act of aggression. It's a deliberate cruelty. It's an attempt to humiliate and degrade. And any man who does it has very deep-seated emotional problems, and it's usually a hatred of women. Look, I know for a parent looking back over the past and trying to figure out, how this could have happened, it's very difficult. I mean, the man may feel that he was rejected somewhere in his childhood, or he may have been humiliated in some way, and so here's his chance to get back, to punish, to hurt.
Sarah, he never hurt Peggy.
Well, that may be, but he's had problems before.
No, not like this, not ever.
You don't know that.
He's never done anything violent, Sarah. I know that. And he won't do it in the future.
Adam, you can't be certain of that. You cannot be certain that this is an isolated incident and that there are no roots to it and that this doesn't really show you the kind of man that Roger is. I mean, most men would never allow such a thing to happen, no matter how hurt they were, no matter how angry or what the provocation. And for God's sake, I mean, Roger does this to his own wife, Holly, who cares about him so deeply. And you know that's true. You know how hard Holly's worked to make this marriage work.
Sarah, I'm really not sure what exactly happened.
Adam, Roger is never going to change until he admits what he did, admits his problems, and gets help. Adam, he needs psychiatric treatment.
He won't want it.
Adam, I humbly suggest that you talk to him because he needs it. And you may be the only person who can reach him. Okay, I mean, I've said what I have to say, and
Sarah, I know you're trying to help.
We're having your favorite lunch, children.
Mothers of all ages know Smucker's is a family favorite. That's why our famous Smucker's grape jelly comes in...
Yes, Alan, I'll be right in. And you need to initial paragraph 12B.
All right. Is that it?
Yes, I'll get that out today.
Better send it by messenger. Lawson is expecting it this afternoon.
All right.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Sorry I'm late. I had some personal business to take care of. Any calls?
Your messages are on your desk.
Fine. What's up?
Alan and I have a lot of work to do this morning.
Oh. Alan, I'd like to talk to you about renewing Warren Lawson's contract.
It's renewed. I just signed it.
Oh?
Well, there was a rush on it, and I didn't know what time you were coming in.
I think Lawson expected me to handle it.
Well, I don't think it matters.
No. Just want to earn my salary around here. I don't want you to regret promoting me.
Actually, I think we should discuss your workload.
Why?
Your trial is scheduled to begin soon, this week, isn't it?
Yes.
Under the circumstances, I certainly don't think you should carry all of your responsibilities. I think I should take over your work with the New York and Houston offices.
Ah, I see. The way you took over the Lawson contract this morning.
Yes.
That really wasn't necessary, Alan. I realize the contract's important. I should have called and let you know that I was going to be late. And there's certainly no need to reassign the Houston and New York stuff. I mean, that's mine.
I was talking about a temporary arrangement.
I said there's no need.
How long do you expect it to last?
Not long. It's basically my word against hers, isn't it?
Still, it's bound to take up a great deal of your time.
Well, I plan to work evenings whenever court is in session.
Roger, I'm simply trying to facilitate matters, to make it easier for you. I'm not talking about reassigning anything. I'll simply handle it myself
Until I go to jail? Is that what you mean?
Certainly not.
Alan, I am going to be acquitted. I am not going to prison.
Of course not.
As your senior vice president, I don't want any changes made in my responsibilities around here, temporary or otherwise. And if you think that you can ease me out of here gracefully under the guise of helping me, forget it. I intend to be here for some time to come. I expect the New York and the Houston offices to continue reporting directly to me, and if you have said differently to anyone, perhaps you better get on the phone and get it all straightened out.
No changes have been made.
Good. Well, I'd best get on to my office and see what work awaits me there. Busy day. Excuse me.
Alan.
What's next? The Murray correspondence.
Yes, it's right here.
Told you I wanted it all.
It's all there, Alan.
We're going to have to make allowances for Roger.
The way he talks to you?
He's under a lot of pressure.
So are you.
Yes, I am. I'm afraid you're going to have to make allowances for me, too.
I want to help you.
I don't need help. At least not the help that you can give me. What's that?
Nothing. It's just something I'm working on.
Well, do you want to show it to me or not?
No. No, I don't think so, after all.
All right. Don't forget to get those papers over to Lawson's office this morning.
I won't.
stole these for you, Alan. I broke into Roger's apartment and stole them because I wanted to help you, to protect you.
What's that? Correction. What are these? These are the two affidavits, Alan. Both of them. See, when I overheard Dean advising you to destroy the first affidavit, I got a hold of it and had copies made. I felt it would be a pity and a shame to let you destroy history. Take a look. Well, I found it intriguing reading, and I'm sure the police will as well.
You broke into my office. You broke into my desk.
Do you really believe anyone is going to be sticky about that when I tell them where I found the original right here?
You're not going to get away with this.
Me? I'm not trying to get away with anything. But of course, I'm not the one who's liable to be indicted for conspiracy.
Conspiracy?
Or worse.
Yes? Roger, I'd like you to come to my office. I have to talk to you.
When?
Now.
Oh, I'm sorry, Alan. I'm up to my ears on this Hong Kong expansion deal. When I'm through with this, I've got to meet my father over at Cedars, so it'll have to be sometime after lunch.
All right, then. After lunch.
How's 1:30?
1:30's fine.
I'll be there.
Yeah, it's amazing. This much mail and more comes every day.
You read every one of them?
Yes, every one. They help me. They really do. Most of them are very nice. I mean, women write who've had the same thing happen to them, and they want to let me know I'm not alone. And then some say that I should never have reported him, that he is my husband no matter what he's done. I wonder how many people on the jury will feel that way.
Well, I don't think you should worry about people who criticize you. I think you should just concern yourself with people who support what you've done.
Right. I have to keep that straight.
Oh, Holly, it is going to get better.
I know. I just wish the whole thing were over with. I want it to be over and done with, and I'll walk down the street and not be afraid of the way people look at me. Oh.
Holly.
I know. How long is it going to take for people to forget about this? How long is it going to take me to forget? Oh, I never will. But I want the nightmares to stop. I want to stop reliving this thing.
Holly, if you can't stop. There are groups. There are women who've gone through the same thing that you've gone through, and they're there to talk to you about it.
Yes. Sarah, I am afraid how this is affecting me. The way I feel about men, about sex. I mean, I know all men are not like Roger. I know that. But still, there is a part of me that is afraid now, that has withdrawn. And sometimes I just want to shut everything out, just shut everybody out. And that way I will be safe and nobody can get at me and hurt me ever again.
Hi.
Anne said I should come in. Am I interrupting?
No, you're not interrupting anything. Hi. Good to see you.
Oh, sweetie.
Do we get the day together?
No, I have to get back.
Have a seat. Have a seat. How's Philip?
He's a little better. Has the energy to catch up on some of his back schoolwork, and that's good. He's been awfully restless staying at home.
Guess all boys are like that, aren't they?
Have you been able to talk to him about us?
I tried. I told him about the track meet on Saturday. He said he didn't want to go.
I guess he found out it was my idea, huh?
I told him. I didn't press it. He just gets upset.
Well, there's time. Maybe he'll change his mind.
I don't know. I promise you I wouldn't let this go on unless he were ill. I'd make him accept the way we feel about each other. I'm just so scared.
No, that's all right. You're right to be concerned. It's just I wonder what we can do about it.
Mike, I don't know.
You think there's any chance that Alan would talk to him? I mean, I know he wouldn't do it for our sake, but for Philip's sake, I mean, surely Alan loves Philip enough to realize that it would hurt Philip if he can't accept me when we get married.
Alan never admits it when he's wrong. And Mike, he would never tell Philip he'd lied about you.
He doesn't have to do that. All he has to do is tell Philip to keep an open mind. Maybe I should talk to Alan and try to get him to talk to Philip. Certainly, he's got to realize that this is hurting Philip.
Mike, he's so vengeful. He just can't think of anything else. His need to hurt us was so great, he didn't even stop to consider what it would do to Philip.
Well, maybe I can make him consider.
So sad. Philip loves him so much.
Well, naturally, he's his father. Do you mind if I talk to Alan about this?
No. I can't think of anything else to do.
When are we going to have some time together? Again.
Alan has him visiting time with Philip tonight. He's going to bring him back early, but there'll be at least a few hours. Meet you at your house?
Love it.
Oh, darling. I need you so. I thought we'd be married by now.
We will be.
I hate having to hide.
I know.
As the Garys sleep, an evil thing happens. A pasty film covers their mouths, teeth. They wake with the worst breath of the day.
Did I come at a bad time?
No, not at all. So, what are you up to? Came to invite your poor old man to dinner?
You know you're invited any time. But that isn't what I came to talk about. I have a problem at work, and I don't know how to deal with it, and I thought maybe you could help me by discussing it with me.
Sure.
It's Alan Spaulding, Dad. Gordon has assigned me all the interior designs for the Spaulding offices at the industrial park.
Well, he certainly must think very highly of you to do that.
Well, I've told him I don't want to have anything to do with Spaulding. I mean, I don't even want to come into personal contact with him if it's all possible.
Well, it's got to be a very important account.
Important isn't the word for it. I get the impression that if this account falls through, the firm might fold. Well, I did the sketches for Alan Spaulding, and I accompanied Gordon when he went over to make the presentation.
So how did Alan like it?
Well, he didn't make any criticisms. He said to go ahead with it. But, Dad, it just doesn't sit right with me.
Why?
Well, I mean, as you said, it is a big project, and if there are problems, I'll have to come in contact with Alan Spaulding face to face. I mean, even though Gordon has promised me to keep us apart. I mean, it just doesn't seem worth it. I think I ought to pull myself out of the project before I get really heavily involved.
Look, you can't throw away a job just because of the way Alan and I feel about each other. It has nothing to do with your work.
Yeah, but, Dad, I mean, he's made so much trouble for you.
Look, your responsibility is to Gordon and his clients, no matter who they are. And regardless of how Alan and I feel about each other. All you have to do is to keep it on a professional level. And if he starts to get personal and give you a hard time, just remember you're a very talented, competent young lady, and don't let it bother you.
Well, I don't know about the talent part, but so far so good. I mean, he likes the designs.
Yeah, well, I guess even Alan Spaulding has to realize what a talented daughter I have.
What are you trying to do to me?
Trying to boost your confidence in yourself.
Yeah, well, when things don't work out in my life, it seems like there's something lacking in me. But I really care about my work, and I want to be good at it.
You will.
Oh, Dad, thank you.
I just dropped by to thank you for this.
The interview?
Yeah, I'm sure it'll help. As a matter of fact, it's probably just as well that you waited as long as you did before you made a statement to the press.
Well, what do you mean?
Well, it just might be more effective coming as close as it is to the trial. That's what Ross thinks, anyway. Yeah, you know, it's not like some father's just an automatic knee-jerk response to his son's being in trouble. Anyway, I feel a lot better.
You do?
Oh, yeah. Listen, I know that I was completely nutso the last time you saw me, but I'm over the worst of it now. I'm feeling fairly confident. Ross is smart. I mean, he really is damn smart, you know, and now that I've got you behind me, I think I'm going to do okay in this trial.
Roger, I did what you wanted me to do. I hope that proves to you in some way that I really do care what happens to you.
Dad, I know you care. Listen, if I indicated anything to the contrary, you just got to chalk it up. You know how upset I've been.
All right. Look, I want to ask you a question. And I want you to be honest with me.
Okay.
Do you own a gun?
Why?
I heard that you did. That you keep it in the office.
Holly told you, didn't she?
Is it true?
Yeah.
Why?
For protection.
Protection from what?
In case you've forgotten, somebody tried to kill you long ago, and they damn near succeeded.
Do you really feel you're in danger?
Oh, boy. You know, the cops don't believe me, my adoring wife has never believed me, but I certainly thought that you did.
All right. Now, let me say something else to you. Look, I want you to talk to someone. See someone, get some counseling.
What?
I think you need to talk to someone, Roger, about your feelings.
Wait a minute, you talked about counseling. Are you talking about a psychiatrist?
Yes.
Why? What do you think is wrong with me?
I think you need some help in sorting out your feelings.
I need some help because my wife and the district attorney are doing everything they can to throw me in jail. That's why I need help. I need Ross Marler. That's who I need. You think some damn shrink is going to keep me out of jail?
No, look, Roger, I'm just trying to help you the best way I can.
You believe Holly. You think I raped her, don't you?
I don't believe you did anything intentional to hurt her, but I think you need help in understanding your...
I did not rape Holly, Dad. I went to bed with her. There's no law against that. We are married. You know, she is my wife.
Roger, it's no use pretending that nothing happened between you.
Who have you been talking to? Who have you been talking to?
Now, keep your voice down.
Well, look, I just want to know, did Holly dig up some damn shrink for you to talk to?
No!
Well, then how in the hell do you come off suddenly suggesting to me that I'm sick or disturbed or not in touch with my feelings? What the... Listen, Dad, there is nothing wrong with me, but that kind of talk is not going to help me in court.
Roger, you've got nothing to lose by seeing a psychiatrist.
I am fine, damn it! I am just fine. Thank you. Do you know I have become indispensable to Alan Spaulding? That I am a tougher man than he is? Everybody in this damn town thinks that he's such hot stuff and that I am nothing. They'd be surprised if they knew. I'm more of a man than he is, and he knows it. He damn well knows it now. That's what this whole damn thing is about, anyway. Holly has been treating me time and again like I am not a man. Well, I am a man, damn it. And I'm not going to let her pin this on me. I'm not going to go to jail for her.
Roger.
And I'll tell you, Dad, don't ever again talk to me like I am sick and like I need help. You understand? Not ever.
what's the use? You're just not biting.
Oh, you're on vacation, Fred. Why so tense?
Oh, my doctor says that caffeine makes me nervous.
Aha, you should be drinking Sanka brand decaffeinated coffee.
But I only like real coffee.
Sanka brand is 100% real coffee.
You're kind of quiet today.
Yeah.
One of those mornings?
Yep. It's one of those mornings. Hey, you want some coffee? It's not the usual office coffee, no. It's the kind I make for Alan.
Oh.
Only the best.
Oh.
Nothing ordinary. That's Alan's philosophy.
You work for a very important man.
Important. Yes, I suppose he is important.
My. You're the first one who usually insists on that.
Yes, well, I learn a little something every day, you know. It isn't always inspiring.
What do you mean?
Oh, nothing. Just that there's no such thing as heroes anymore. Everybody's got their weaknesses. Their little, or not so little, human frailties. A man can have money, power, the whole bit. Deep down, he isn't any different than anybody else.
Are you talking about Alan?
When I first met Alan, I thought he was... You know how teenagers are? You know how they get crushes on movie stars?
Oh. Yeah.
Well, I wasn't quite a teenager, and it was more. Much more. But it had the same hero-worshipping kind of thing about it. Full of illusion. And it wasn't just that Alan was an attractive man. He seemed to really stand for something. He had a special strength. Strength I'd been looking for all my life.
Well, Alan is a strong man.
I thought he was better. Better than anyone. I found out rather late in the game. Alan's not quite as perfect as I thought he was.
The only people who seem to be perfect are the people who we're not close to. You're very close to Alan.
I like men who know exactly what they stand for. Who aren't afraid. My father. I haven't thought about my father in a long time. Really, I almost never think about him.
You've never mentioned him to me. Is your father living?
I never see him. He was in business. I mean, he did very well. I mean, he made money. Things were just swell until he was accused of embezzling.
Oh.
Yeah, he was indicted. It was in the newspapers.
How old were you?
18.
That must have been rough on you.
Well, it could have been worse. I mean, he didn't go to jail. He had a really good lawyer. Frankly, I don't know whether he did it or not. He says not. Anyway, it really shook me up. It's like I didn't know what to believe in anymore. And then a little while after that, I met Alan. I thought he was the most wonderful man I'd ever met. I mean, there was nothing sleazy about him. Nothing cheap. He had natural dignity. I thought he was perfect.
sorry if we kept you waiting.
You haven't. You're right on time.
Good. You said we had something to discuss.
Yes. I wasn't able to get into it with Diane here.
What's all this about?
Well, we've discussed this before, but I'm afraid the problem isn't going away. The fact that you've been accused of a serious crime is creating problems for me, for the company. I am responsible to my investors.
I've told you that I'm not going to resign, and I think we've both decided that you're not going to fire me.
Of course I'm not going to fire you. But I do have a proposition I'd like to put to you.
Oh, what's that?
Well, regardless of how the trial goes...
I'm going to be acquitted, Alan.
Yes, well, in any case, it would seem likely that you and your wife will divorce. Now, I don't know if your attorney has taken any steps in that direction.
My attorney has other things on his mind these days, as you can imagine.
Yes, well, given the damage that the trial might do to your reputation, even if you're exonerated, I think it would be impossible for you to continue in a normal life here, so perhaps you'll want to move to another city, start fresh. If you do, I'm prepared to give you a lifetime annuity. You'll never have to worry about money again.
In exchange for my leaving Springfield.
And resigning from the company. And, of course, I'll want the affidavits, all copies.
Interesting proposition, some of it. Of course, I have no intention of resigning. It looks bad on one's resume, you know. I would consider sort of a kick upstairs, you know, sort of an honorary position, duties and a large salary, say senior consultant to the president. I'm getting a little sick of work anyway. Now, as to leaving Springfield, I realize it's not Tahiti, but I rather like it here. Now, the affidavits, that's another story. I will be perfectly happy to turn over those affidavits to you, provided that we can work out the details. See, my problem is this. How do I know that you won't change your mind about my annuity once you have possession of the affidavits?
I've never gone back on my word to anyone.
Ah, I see. I take it then that you're asking me to trust you.
Yes.
I have a better idea. Set up a trust in my name that works like an annuity, so that I can draw money out every year, and no one, including yourself, can touch it. I'd feel a good deal more comfortable with that arrangement than with your word, Alan.
All right. I'll have the document drawn up. But I won't sign it until you've given me the affidavits.
Fine. Now, just what figure are we talking about?
The annual income on this is sizable. A nice living in perpetuity.
I think the affidavits are worth more than that to you, Alan. After all, you could be indicted for conspiring with Dean Blackford, and if I understand the conspiracy laws correctly, that means that you would be held accountable for everything that Blackford did, including the murder of Del Villar. That would put you in more trouble than I'm in right now.
How much do you want?
Twice that amount?
All right.
Fine.
I agree with the advertising. You know, you see these ladies that get on and say, oh, it's Cottony soft. Well, it is. It may sound hokey, but it's true.
We're asking Cottonelle users.
newspaper? Yeah, I think so, darling. I think I heard it.
That newspaper boy would ever once not hit the front door. Oh, my God.
What? What is it?
How could they?
How could they what?
Oh, that's right. There was a guy with a camera there.
Oh, who is it?
Look at that picture.
Oh, no.
Look at him, the adoring father. And me just standing there.
Darling, I know how you felt.
But, Mother, think about all those people who don't know how I hated seeing that.
Roger must have arranged for a camera to be...
Oh, of course he did. And I didn't want to make a scene, so instead of grabbing her and running off, I just stood there.
Well, darling, you wanted to protect her. You didn't want to upset Christina.
And now this, after that interview with Adam defending his darling son. How does he do it?
Oh, Holly, please, dear.
Mother, don't you see? Roger is coming off as the doting father and loving son.
I didn't leave that drawer open. Yeah, David's. I left them in this drawer. Who the hell broke in here and stole them? No, I left them in that drawer. Diane.
Two affidavits. Two. Alan had to be involved. Oh, my God.
And now, the guiding light. This portion is